So, 5 coins that we could look at over September. Here we go. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new, subscribe, bell button, leave a like, all that good stuff. Might be a long video this one. I'm going to go through 5 coins. I'm going to, on some of them, do analysis where you can buy, where you can potentially look at profit taking as well. Yeah, I will put a disclaimer out here and say it is not financial advice, it is speculation. It is very one-sided to one ecosystem. I'm just going to put that out there right now because you've probably already noticed what's popping off at the moment. And it'll become a bit of a theme of this video, apart from one that is not, which is a bit of a curveball. And a lot of people will talk about it, so let's talk about that one because the hype is good. We're not going to talk about NFTs or JPEGs or rocks or whatever else is the next fad of crypto. So let's talk about it. I've already spoken on my Patreon, link below by the way, about what I'm looking to roughly do today. I didn't give away all the details because I didn't know what the last one was going to be. Did a video yesterday on there as an extra. It's people seem to like it, so that's good. So anything that I don't put on YouTube goes on Patreon, and also my random shitty thoughts that I often think about, which will be going on there soon because I have a warped brain. Anyways, moving on. First one, Polkadot. Oh, I went there already. I've just spoiler alerted it. I think it's dot season. I think it's coming. I think people are starting to wake up and thinking the quality of coins that are going on A, this network, and B, the other one, which is the next coin, which you probably already guessed. Right, I'm going to put it out there right now for people who cannot listen. Polkadot is not a competitor to Ethereum. It can, however, grow to the size of Ethereum due to network effect. It is a multi-chain. It's like an extension lead. Think of it as dumb as that, right? You need power. This gives you power. You need extensions. This gives you extensions, interoperability. So if you're thinking, right, I've got 5 plugs, I can plug 5 different things in. Think of that as Solana, Ethereum, maybe Cosmos, maybe the Binance Smart Chain, for example, or another chain, right? Makes sense? A multi-chain. So think of this as your source of everything, right? That's why I love it. You're going to get dApp builders on this. You do not build dApps on Polkadot, you build mainnets. You can plug into their parachains, their substrate system and the relay chains, all that good stuff. Or even better, if you've got your own mainnet on Ethereum or Binance or whatever it may be, you can just plug in straight away. Boom. So you've already seen the likes of, Chainlink, for example, has a substrate. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. What's going to happen when everyone's on it? Moon. That's what I'm thinking anyways, because it's already starting to show that network effect and the staking rewards are awesome. However, shall we talk about it in terms of price analysis? I'm not going to go too much in the charts of Polkadot because I think even now it is a fair price when you start considering the facts here. So when we start looking at it, and bear with me 1 second while I just do something so you can kind of get into it. So what we're looking at here overall, and let me just go to my other list. Bear with me, just talk amongst yourselves, boys and girls. Why not? Hello. So this is the current analysis at the minute. We need to go through this. Mentioned this level back in the day. That was where I started buying a little bit more. I've been an investor in Polkadot from $4, right? Yes, I know, nice levels, and you're probably all jealous, which is fine. But I still think this has got a lot more to give. When we look at the market cap of this, it is really small. It's 30 billion, right? It's tiny. And when you start comparing the fact of what Ethereum is right now, would you go for a 10x from here? Yes, because it will give you 300 billion. Yes, that is still not even near the price of Ethereum. Yes, it's not a competitor, but we're looking at network effect here, right? How many coins are on Ethereum? About 3,000. How many coins could be also on Polkadot? 3,000. Because if Ethereum plugs into this substrate, oh my fuck. Do you get the picture? That's not including other chains neither. Anyways, moving on. We need to look at this because I think we're going to start seeing profits soon spill into this. And I also think we've still got a bit to go. This is an important level of structure. Why? Because, well, not so much this level, but $25 was. When we start looking at this overall situation of boom, meltage, market went to shit for a bit, I know. However, moving forward, we are on a monstrous run right now, which looks pretty damn good, in my honest opinion. Now, where we're going to go next? Well, I think that $34 level is probably going to happen. Looking across the doing your blind spot checks, looking left, that level looks relatively cozy. Support and resistance all into one. Happy days, right? Now, the bottom area, bear with me, I've just noticed something. Let me just change that. Make it a bit bigger so I can see it. There we go. Now, this is why I said an important level around that $25, because when we start thinking why it kind of did its thing, it's because it did an obvious impulse and it pulled back into that level, right? So this big impulse, boom, pull back, boom, boom, off we go, right? It does feel very much hype cycle, and this is where money is made. And if we are looking at the facts here, yes, BTC isn't the greatest in September, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that the whole market's on a crumble. Even if Ethereum or BTC is a bit lethargic, you can still see money spill over into these other coins that are doing very, very well. And they are. You've already seen the likes of Luna, for example, Solana, Avalanche doing absolute bits recently. Polkadot has been doing bits over the last few days, which is good to see. So they're the levels of interest. I'd wait for a pullback, see what happens, but we're in an obvious uptrend here. We can't really go wrong. Where we're going to go in the future, I don't know. That's the thing. Like, we've only got a price point $49 as all-time high, which is like, okay, cool. It could go much higher. So be mindful of where it could go. A lot of people say it's overvalued, which I just cannot fathom, and I don't get it. It's probably because they're already invested in Solana or I don't know. I don't understand it. Competition, infighting when they're all different systems. Doesn't make sense, right? But that is the basics on that one. Anyways, the next one is Kusama. Just bought into this recently. Really happy I did. I did a tweet a few days ago saying Kusama is ridiculously undervalued. You should take note of it. What would you know? It pumped 30% in the day. Oops. Sorry. It's just one of those things, right? This is a separate chain. This is a separate thing. Do not confuse it as the, as a testnet chain. It is not. It will be used for experimental purposes for sister chains. So, for example, certain coins will be on here. So you got Moonbeam and you got Moonriver, right? Moonriver is on Kusama. Moonbeam is on Polkadot. Essentially, what's going to happen is all the experimental bullshit will go on Moonriver, on the Kusama chain before it goes live onto Moonbeam. Make sense? Cool. So you will get more projects on here. You will get more and more substrates built upon this with more wilder kind of coins that are a bit more random, a bit precarious with code, but they will still be all right, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So it's very, very similar, but they are separate, right? Totally separate. Do not think of this as a testnet chain as, oh, it's all going to be experimental. No, these will have in their own right really, really good projects. Also, a lot more slots as well. This is currently 3.1 billion market cap. And if we're thinking if Polkadot's a success, Kusama will be a success too. Simple as that. I think this is undervalued as well. If we're thinking Polkadot is currently, not even live realistically, when you think about the parachains on there, there's not very many projects at all on it. This is starting to gear up now. From the 1st of September, we're starting to see more and more crowd loans coming through for the parachain auctions. We've got one, I think, is Kilt going through right now. There's other ones coming as well. Loads more in the pipeline throughout the future. As I say, I think up to 400 slots are available, which is pretty cool, right? That's 400 projects alone, not including all the other stuff and all the other stuff that will build onto it as well, which is not a parachain. So where we are with price? Well, let's have a little look, eh? Because yes, I'm a holder. And yes, I bought right before that pump because that is a technical analysis I looked at. That was what I was looking at. I was looking at that obvious impulse and pullback to that point. And it sounds really noddy saying that, but I had ordered in at 280 and I was like, I'm going to go at 280. I'm happy with that level. And boom, off we go. I now stake it. So I did a video on learning crypto the other day about staking it. So you get paid like 4 times a day, which is pretty cool. Very, very easy to use, and I think the reward is currently 16% in staking. So that already has given me a nice little jolt. I did have KSM, but I also had personal issues, so I got rid of it. But I still think right now, currently, even with this pump, fair value is pretty much here. I see this as a 4-figure coin, because when you start thinking of the fact of where it is in terms of market cap and what's been pumping over the last few days and weeks, this is still low. It hasn't even got towards its all-time high yet, where other coins have blasted right through it. So we could still get some real nice growth here. But I also think, really, 3.1 billion, it's nothing. Realistically, it's nothing, and it's only just starting. In 6 to 9 months, and there's more and more parachains, and it's going absolutely crazy, it's going to get very interesting, in my opinion. Moving on to the next one, and you may not have heard of it, but a lot of buzzwords are going around about certain ways on how you can make money through this, and I'm going to explain why. Now, Karura. You can buy it on KuCoin, you can buy it on Gate and Kraken, right, and OKX. This is the sister chain to Arcana, which is also on Polkadot, right? Don't get confused, it's hard work. I know Dan on Twitter, who's a part of this team. He's got an unbelievable account, by the way. You should definitely check him out. I often retweet his stuff, his little educational videos. Now, one thing I will say about this is basically the DeFi hub for the world of Kusama, right? So this one is, and you got Arcana, which is basically on the world of Polkadot. A lot of people are starting to use this and are liking how this works. Now, this is, as I said, an all-in-one DeFi hub of Kusama. It's a scalable solution, and it's optimized for the world of DeFi. And you got all kinds of stuff you can talk about on this. I'm not going to go too deep into it. I could do a separate video if you are interested. And I'm keeping a close eye on this. And this could be a potential investment for me in the future. That's all I'm going to say. Now, the reason why I say that is because these tweets are going around all the time at the minute. So you can buy KSM, and you can basically stake it on the Karura network, if I get words out, and you can mint it and then swap it, and then you can unlock it for the likes of crowd loans and parachains, which is what the next part of this video is going to be about towards the end in terms of crowd loans and stuff, as in what's happening and what is to come. This is interesting because you get it back. You get back that KSM. It's crazy when you think about it, how it all kind of, comes about. It's scary, but it's also pretty cool in terms of how it works for the crowd loans, because I think there's like a 42 or 48 week period where it's locked up. You get 3 or 4 or 5 times the value of it for the crowd loan, and then you get your KSM back. What? It's crazy. So definitely something to keep an eye on. I'm not going to go full balls deep into this, but as you can see here, this is a sister network for the Arcana DeFi hub, which is of Polkadot. So as I said before, you get 2 different variations, and this one is for Kusama, the other one is obviously for Polkadot. Now, should we look at the chart very briefly? Because there's not much to go on in this chart. I will say that now because it hasn't been listed long. But what I will say is very simple. This has been consolidating in between this level here, right? So I think it's only like 60 million market cap. And it's, we'll say this is a bit of a consolidation band realistically. 6-hour time frame, go to the daily, it look more obvious. Hello. Now, we are looking at overall price parameters for the long term here. Not many people know about this yet. It's not on many exchanges, the volume's pretty low on it, but that could well be something that could take off if the parachains and if everything goes crazy with Kusama. People are going to look at solutions and mechanisms to enable crowd loans, which is why this tweet comes pretty important realistically, right? So there's a definite solution there, and there's a definite reason why you should be looking at this. So where can it go? Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine, but as I say, if the hype takes over this network, it could get very interesting. But in terms of technicals, I'm not going to do too much because there's not much data. So maybe in a few weeks, few months, I will come back to this one and see how it's doing. The next one is a coin that is not on the Polkadot ecosystem, Multiback. And I often said this, and I've said it in my tweets, and I do apologize if anyone from the team is listening to this, but the name is shocking, right? I said It sounds like a vacuum cleaner. It sounds like something that you'd shave your body with. It just doesn't sound cool. In my opinion, it doesn't sound good. MTV is quite cool, but Multiback is a bit random. It's a sort of thing you pick up in Halfords. That's all I'm going to say. Now, why am I talking about this? Everyone's talking about it. And I thought, I better just talk about it too. Because 38.9 million market cap, distribution-wise, relatively low, right? It's only on, Pancake, Gate, and KuCoin. It's a sharding capability network. And you all know that I like layer 1. I think sharding capability is pretty good. And it's been out for a while. It's been unknown. This is where it gets scary. And this is why I fall into that trap of like, oh my God. Some coins do this. Some coins go from the absolute depth of the earth and they go, hi, hello, I'm here. Scary when you think about it. And this could be one that does pretty well when you start looking at the facts of what it is and the sharding capability of it. You all know I like Zilliqa. You all know I like other coins that have got, layer 1 within, Polkadot, for example. This is another one that could challenge a lot of coins with its sharding capability. Now, we all know that Zilliqa was the first one. Has it delivered? I don't know. Don't really want to comment on that, John, just yet. But this one has definitely got some real interesting data, and the nodes are increasing. The network effect is already happening, starting. This is why the prices increase massively. So in terms of all this, as much as it's all very wishy-washy on the website in terms of all this kind of technical jargon, which I'm not going to go through in this video, it has a mainnet. Hello. It's live. It's a physically live coin. It only has 3,450 addresses, only 1.5 million transactions. Is it undervalued? Potentially, yes. Staking, let's have a look at it. It's hot, apparently. Mind your hands. Staking is currently 23.67%. Pretty good, right? Yeah, not bad. Keep an eye on it. That's all I'm going to say. Keep an eye on it, because we all know how well sharding capability blockchains do, because they are third generation, technically. They're doing pretty well. In terms of price action, we haven't got much data to go on because it hasn't. Let's have a little look. I've got Multiback. Yep. Where there? There it is. As I say, not a wealth of information here, but it's enough to get you going. And as I say, wealth. No, sorry, I do apologize. It has been on. I thought it was on KuCoin a lot less than that. It has been on KuCoin quite a while. I thought it must have been another one, maybe Pancake or something. Anyways, moving on. If we're looking at this has hit a big level. So be careful in terms of investing right now, in my opinion. It's hit this level. Boom. See where it goes. So on this impulse here, right? Sorry, working on the job. If we're going to go from this bottom here to where that wicker's kind of went, nope, no thank you. Look to see where it can go. Maybe that, below a cent level, which is quite crazy when you think about it. This could be a coin that could do very, very well. Could be. And it's one that I'm keeping an eye on. I'm always looking to refresh my bags myself. But it may not be one that I go for just yet. We'll see. And maybe I sell a bit of my Zilliqa and look for the next sharding capability coin. Could be this one. Could be this one. That's all I want to say. You always want to try, in my opinion, and as I said it before, grow your bags. Always have ammo. Always look for the next best thing. Look for something that could deliver you more multiples, right? I've said that multiple times in multiple videos. This could be a one that could allow you to do that if you're into getting a replacement. Like for me, I bought Zilliqa at such a good time. I made a lot of money off it. Took profit, still hold it, still stake it. But realistically, I could be like going, well, I could sell half my Zilliqa, buy this. And it's only, what, 40 million market cap. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. So this is why I kind of suggest this sort of thing if you are looking as a new investor, where you can start looking at the next best thing that could do well. And even though it's pumped quite aggressively over the period of the years, it's still doing well. And a lot of people are talking about it. So it's got the hype there, and further distribution and stuff like that, and further network effect, it could do very, very well longer term. Last one. What we're going to talk about, I've already mentioned it before. Moon River. Keep an eye on it, because this one looks like an absolute worldie, in my opinion. Now, do your research on Moonbeam. This is effectively the sister chain of that, and it's going to be put onto Kusama. It's absolutely going parabolic in terms of its growth, And it's only just finished its crowd loaning period, right? So it's only just been on the market a couple of days now, as you can see. The hype is here, the hype is there. And if you start looking at the hype, you're going to start getting some real big interesting movers. And this is why I'm focusing mainly on the Polkadot ecosystem on this video, because that's where the hype is, that's where the parachains are, that's why people are going, putting their money in crowd loans, getting their money back in the future. And the overall ecosystem of Polkadot, Kusama, and the coins that are on it are growing very well. Moonriver has an outstanding proposition where it could rival some really big coins on the system, on the sister network, which is crazy. And Moonbeam could be a very big blue chip asset in crypto, which could be one of the biggest ones on Polkadot. So keep an eye on it. Do your research, check it all out, do all your magical pixie dust, whatever you do, and enjoy. And I'll speak to you very soon.